everyone, welcome back. Today I am taking a little detour from my normal reseller content to bring you a really fun unboxing of American Girl's latest Nutcracker Suite edition. In addition to the unboxing, I am going to share with you some of my favorite stories from working at American Girl. I was an employee there for almost 8 years, and as I am showing you some of my collection, I am going to share with you some stories along the way. If that sounds fun to you, stay tuned. It's coming right at you. Hello everyone, welcome back to Lori's Boston Found, where thrifted is the new black. My name is Lori. I am a full-time reseller on the app Poshmark as well as eBay. I also have my own website, lorisbostonfound.com, if you would like to check it out. So on my channel, I primarily talk about my journey as a reseller. I do thrift with me hauls. I share with you things that I pick up at thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales, the Goodwill outlet bins, and flip on the internet for money. However, as some of you may know, I worked at the American Girl doll store for on and off for 10 years, from 2008 to 2018 was the span, and I had like a little 2-year hiatus in between to actually take a break, and I worked part-time selling on eBay at the time, and then I went back as a personal shopper. So I have done one other video on my reselling channel sharing a little bit with you about my American Girl collection and the little doll knowledge that I have as a result of being an employee there and just being extremely passionate about the company for many, many years. Thought it would be fun today to do a little unboxing. Currently, American Girl has this limited edition series. It is a Nutcracker series that I totally missed the boat on last year. I'm filming this in the later part of October. However, the holidays are right around the corner, and being an employee once before at American Girl, I know firsthand how quickly the hot items sell out on the American Girl website and in the store. So I knew to get my holiday things early. Because I am a full-time reseller, I do like to pick up American Girl stuff when I'm out in the wild, at Savers, if I happen to pick up stuff at yard sales. If it's something I already have, I'll pick it up and I'll sell it. But I do have so much stuff, and I'm definitely going to start thinning out my collection as the years go on. I haven't really taken the plunge to sell a ton of my stuff. Many of you are probably here who know me for reselling. I'm sure that there are a number of you who are tuning in for the American Girl excitement. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My channel is mostly dedicated to reselling. Because I love American Girl so much, people in my community know what this company means to me. They know my history with American Girl. If you want to see the first video I did about American Girl, I will link that above here for you. I want to start by saying I really missed the boat last year when they started this Nutcracker series at American Girl. I naively wasn't really paying attention and didn't realize that it was probably going to turn into a limited edition series, which is code for me to buy it. Even if I just sit on it and decide whether or not I want it, I can always sell it at a later time. It's like when you're at the thrift store. If you're not sure about something, you put it in your cart, because even if you're thinking about it, you don't want somebody else to take it. So things that are hot at American Girl sell out all the time. So last year, they sold a combo of Clara's nightgown and the Nutcracker outfit. I believe it was for $100. If I'm mistaken, I will write that at the bottom of the screen. I kept saying, I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna get it. I do get my dolls ready at the holidays. It's kind of like the one time I pull it out. And I don't know about my other American Girl fans, but this time of year is my favorite time of year. It makes me think of when my daughter was little. I would start thinking about the things I wanted to get her for Christmas, the American Girl items she was going to put on her Christmas list that Santa would surprise her with under the tree. It's the time of year when back in the day we would get those huge holiday catalogs, which always included holiday outfits and Christmas trinkets and Hanukkah things. When I worked at American Girl, I worked in the events department at one point, and we would go into Boston and see the Nutcracker as a big event for our store. So it gives me all the feels. And I was also proudly Mrs. Claus. Santa Claus was my good friend, Brendan. For those of you who might be young and watching my channel, Santa does have helpers, and so at American Girl, he sent one of his helpers to our store, and he was my good friend, and his name was Brendan, and I would be his assistant. One year I was Mrs. Claus, and other years I was just his assistant. I have all these great memories of American Girl, which is why I can't believe I didn't buy these pieces. In addition to Clara and the Nutcracker outfit, last year they sold the Snow Queen. My daughter danced for 14 years, and the big year for us was the year that she got the role of the Snow Queen. So even more than Clara and the Nutcracker, I wanted the Snow Queen outfit. I bought none of them, and now of course those $100 outfits from American Girl are now selling on eBay for over $200. I've seen them between $179 all the way up to like $250. So, and I think that price is just going to increase now that they came out with the second part of the series, which is what I finally bought this year. And my thinking is I bought two. I'm hoping to sell one to maybe make a little bit of money and put it towards getting the inflated Clara and Nutcracker, because of course I want to have the set. There's also a limited edition Sugarplum Fairy doll this year that I also purchased. So I'm going to open up this year's version for you. So last year it was Clara, the Nutcracker, and they sold the Snow Queen outfit separately. This year it's the Candy Stripe outfit, the Mouse King outfit, and they sold the Sugarplum Fairy outfit separately, but this year they also released the limited edition dolls. Total side note, they just came out with an 80s doll. Her name is Courtney. She has a Pac-Man machine, and we have this same Pac-Man machine that my mother-in-law bought when my husband was like in middle school, and we have inherited it. When they moved, they were getting rid of the Pac-Man machine, and my husband jumped all over it. We also have a pinball machine, so Jay's into those like vintage pieces, but Courtney is on my list. She is the doll that is most accurate with my age. I was born in 1973. Courtney is from 1986. I was more of a Cabbage Patch Kid era girl, so that was my doll, and I was even a little bit old for Cabbage Patch Kids. But 1986 is the year that Pleasant Rowland, who is the founder of American Girl, which used to be called the Pleasant Company, Pleasant Rowland found American Girl in 1986, and that's when the first three dolls were released, which were Samantha, Molly, and Kirsten. Courtney is the latest of historical characters from 1986, and I'm definitely gonna get her, but because Courtney was not limited edition, I decided to go for the limited edition stuff first. Popcorn pieces. All right, so we do a good job. I talk like I still work there. American Girl does a really good job with their holiday boxing, and we used to get a lot of pre-wrap in the store, so people could just come in and get things that were pre-wrapped and ready to be gifted. They do sell the Sugarplum Fairy outfits separately. I will open this up to show you, but because I bought the Sugarplum Fairy doll, I think I'm going to keep the doll and sell the outfit. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, if I was gonna keep the doll or if I was gonna keep the outfit. And my husband said to me, "Who are you kidding? There's no way you're gonna sell that doll since it's a first limited edition." And then when I opened her up and saw her, I said, "You're right, Jay." So this is beautiful. This box is gorgeous. It has all these, this kind of embossed silhouette of Nutcracker characters. So this is the Nutcracker Sugarplum Fairy outfit. It comes in this gorgeous box. This outfit sells for $65, just the outfit. So what I like about this right off the bat is that there's no tape, you know, it's kind of, it has this beautiful, just, you lift this up and here is the outfit. It's actually really showing a glare, so you'll be able to see it better when I take the doll out of the box. I'm a little torn with the new packaging. As beautiful as this is, it has like the story of the Sugarplum Fairy here. As soon as Mattel, who now owns American Girl, started doing like plastic in their packaging, to me it took away a little bit. All of their items used to just come in a box and you'd lift it up and you could hold everything. This is very like Barbie to me, but I think I'm just old and I just like the old way that they used to do it. But this presentation is absolutely gorgeous. $65 for this. Same box for the Mouse King. So this is the Nutcracker Mouse King and Land of the Sweets outfit set. The peppermint striped outfit that I was referring to is Land of the Sweets. So this I'm excited for, because this I am going to open up. I love the Mouse King outfit. Angie was also the Mouse King 1 year. So I definitely have an attachment to the Nutcracker. How can I get into this? These two outfits are sold for $100. So the Sugarplum Fairy sold separately is $65, and this is $100. You cannot buy, oh, I didn't mean to rip the box. You cannot buy one without the other. So I am just going to slide it out of the side here. I don't anticipate that I will buy Clara and the Nutcracker on the secondary market this year in the holiday season, because I just think it will be astronomically expensive right now. One of my tips if you're purchasing resale for American Girl is to buy your winter items in the summer, buy your summer pieces in the winter. Right now, everybody's got Christmas on their mind, which is why, you know, if you do have an item to sell, it would be a great time to list things. It comes like this in all this plastic. Again, I'm not a huge fan, but very pretty for the presentation. The way that they do it is all the accessories are on this level, and then now that is beautiful. That is a gorgeous presentation of these outfits. I love how they bring like the cape forward on this. Oh my gosh, this is the cutest outfit. I'm also gonna pause and dress a couple of my dolls up in these outfits because I just can't help myself. Oh gosh, this is so different than the way we used to package things. So there is like a piece of cardboard in here, but I have to say this is just adorable. It really makes for a nice unboxing. And it even has this little flap for the cape. Oh my gosh, this is too cute. I always think in terms of which doll would look cute in this, because I'm honestly a weird doll lady. I hide a lot of my doll crazy here on my YouTube channel, but let there be no doubt, I love this stuff. I do think that some of the quality of the pieces has subsided a little bit through the years. I'm not like a super harsh critic because I just have fun with it, but some of the older pieces that are Pleasant Company, pre-Mattel, are just very authentic, really beautiful quality. Like for example, right now, they'll use Velcro in places where they used to use actual buttons and little details like that. Like they would have zippers on things, and they just don't do that sort of thing anymore. So there are corners that are cut, but that is really cute. Okay. So here is the little Mouse King hat, which is so adorable. That would look so cute on just about any of the dolls. I love it. And then I love this. They include little whiskers stickers that people can put right onto the doll and then peel off, which is so cute. Knowing me, I won't use these because I want to keep them new. But I'm a collector, so when my daughter was little, she played with everything. Nothing was off limits. Because they're limited edition, they come with these little cards, and on the back, it tells you which number you got. So I already looked on my doll because they only made 5,000 of those dolls. I'm really contemplating if I need another one. I didn't realize how limited the outfits were. So they did make 15,000 of the outfits. And funny enough, this Mouse King outfit is 14,525. So I don't know if they're selling them in order or if that just means these are very close to selling out, which, it gives me anxiety. The Mouse King also comes with this cute little sword, which is so adorable. And these shoes are adorable with like the little buckle. Really cute shoes. So the Mouse King's outfit is an A+. My Land of the Sweets outfit is so cute. Look at this with like the little tulle skirt. And this is actually a separate bodysuit. So it has just the bodysuit and then all that ruffle detail. And with the skirt, this is a simple outfit, but it is adorable. Oh, I was wondering if they had tights. So actually, I don't know. I don't know if these socks, I think these socks are meant for the Mouse King. Yeah. And then she doesn't get tights. I am so surprised she didn't get tights. But anyway, she gets this little candy lollipop. She gets a cute little headband and some shoes. Can't wait to dress the dolls up. I'm gonna show you what they look like all dressed up. Do you think that's worth $100? Isn't it crazy what we pay for American Girl stuff? And to think that last year's outfits are now $200. What American Girl has done in the past with certain limited edition items. In fact, I think they just released a car recently. So Julie, who is the doll from the 70s, had like a Volkswagen Bug that was part of her collection. It was very expensive. It's no longer available. But what American Girl does sometimes is they'll recycle a concept and they'll bring it out years later in a different version. So they just came out with a car that is for the Truly Me department, which any doll can use. So while Julie's Volkswagen is no longer available, girls and boys can still get a car that they want to use with their dolls. So American Girl will do that sometimes, so I wouldn't be surprised if years down the road they have some other version of the Nutcracker suite. I think the Nutcracker outfit is probably worth the purchase just because it's going to be hard to find things like that out there. But I know that there are very creative, talented people who sell things on platforms like Etsy. So if you're not married to the American Girl brand, you can probably find something on Amazon or on Etsy that is a Nutcracker outfit for an 18-inch doll and would fit your American Girl doll without having to pay the crazy pricing. If you're a collector, I get it, you probably want the American Girl brand, but it is interesting to see the culture of what sells for American Girl. And I do think the brand has dipped a little bit. With the rise of the popularity of electronics, kids are playing with toys less. I think the past decade has been pretty tough on the toy industry in general. I feel like companies like Lego have managed to stay very relevant and current, and certain toys have done well, but I know American Girl has been hit hard by this, and they're starting to close a lot of their boutique locations. So the Boston store was a boutique. It was one of the first ones. They have closed. I think once leases are up, a lot of the American Girl stores are closing, which is so sad because it offered such a unique experience for girls as well. I know New York is still open. They've recently relocated to Rockefeller Center. It's a beautiful store. They used to be on Fifth Avenue. I loved that store a little bit more, probably because I'm old school. But the new location is gorgeous, and it's huge, and it's contemporary, and it has everything a girl could ever dream of. I would highly recommend visiting the Manhattan location. Okay, here is the limited edition doll. American Girl has never done this before. You can customize dolls now, and they're called Create Your Own, where you can go in and you can decide on the face mold and the eye color and the hair and accessories. But they've never designed a doll outside of like the Girl of the Year, which is here for a year, that has this limited amount of dolls. So this is the Nutcracker Collection limited edition series. They only made 5,000 of these, and now I know they made 15,000 of the other outfits. But this is the Sugarplum Fairy, and she is beautiful. I'm gonna take the top off so you don't see the glare. Alrighty, so this doll was $250. That was a tough bill to pay. But she's absolutely gorgeous, and she's accented with Swarovski crystals, which of course they played into that, and that upped her value. What I love so much about this doll is that she has medium skin. I love the medium skin dolls. It looks like she has, I don't know. I can't tell if she has the Josefina doll face mold or if this is a whole new mold altogether. Do my American Girl people know? Her nose looks a little bit small for the Josefina mold, but she is stunning. She does have purple hair. I'm gonna go in close here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about her. Okay, I wasn't sure I was gonna take her out of the box, but see, this is where I am a collector, but I do believe in playing with my stuff. So I'm gonna take her out of the box. So we used to do this at American Girl when girls would buy their dolls. We would say, would you like to leave her in the box, or would you like to hold your doll? That was one of the fun parts of our job, is when a little girl was getting her first American Girl doll and we were able to take them out of the box and present it to the little girl. It was just one of those really special moments. When I would be an associate on the floor, sometimes during the holiday season, they would have people as greeters, and it was the best to be at the door and watch people walk through that door for the first time and see the look on girls' faces. I'm still so sad that the store is gone. It was the end of an era when that store closed down. So there are some of her accessories left in the box, like her crown and her wand. She also comes with a little card, which I definitely plan on keeping this. My Sugarplum Fairy is number 1116 of 5,000. So this is the little card she came with. And right on the back, on the bottom here, is where you can learn which edition she is. She comes with her hair net. There's always a hair net on the dolls to keep their hair in place. And it's been a while. I used to be really good at getting these off one-handed. So you just kind of pop your hand up here and you pull it back. I also worked in the doll hair salon for a few years. That was my last job before the store closed. Oh my gosh. Never did I think I would see the day that American Girl made dolls with purple hair, but she is beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at her. Okay, if you're not a doll person, I'm so sorry. I'm totally geeking out right here because she is beautiful. She's got these nice loose curls. She does have like this little twist in her hair. That was a popular style that we used to do. And just to twist the hair, you literally just pull a little bit and push the ponytail in to get that twist. Recently, American Girl has started to sell dolls with different colored hair, which I never thought I would see the day. Oh, she also has earrings. I imagine those are Swarovski. I'm gonna focus in there, get myself out of it so we can focus on her. She also has some beautiful detail around her eyes, but she's gorgeous. She's got this necklace, which is really pretty. There's a little plastic on her neck that I haven't removed yet. The back of her tights are really beautiful. So her shoes just lace all the way up and they tie in the back. This is the outfit that is also sold separately for $65. So if it is not in your budget to get a $250 doll, this outfit is gorgeous and would look beautiful on so many dolls. I just had to have the Sugarplum Fairy. I will probably put her back in the box and she will end up going to my grandchild someday. I do usually get them ready for Christmas, but that's it. You spritz their hair with water, that's all you use, and you want to use a wire hairbrush. You never want to use plastic on the doll's hair because it will just stretch the fibers. Their hair is basically made out of like plastic fibers. So you never want to add any heat to their hair. It will melt their hair and make it frizzy. Just spritz it with water and then you take your wire brush and you can make all these curls like bounce back. The sparkle on her dress. She's absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad I got her. She's lovely. I haven't bought a doll like since I left American Girl, so this is kind of a big deal for me and I'm kind of very excited. As mentioned in my previous videos, I have about 120 dolls, and that's, some of them are duplicates. I have a few white body dolls, which were dolls that were made prior to 1990, I believe. Some of the original historical characters. I have duplicates of certain dolls, ones that I would pick up in play condition at American Girl, others that I've kept in the box. It's overwhelming at this point, the amount of stuff I have, so I'm just adding to it with this Nutcracker stuff. But let me just show you, first off, the Mouse King outfit is so adorable. This doll right here is from the Truly Me department. She is doll number 55. I'm gonna show you up close her features. So she has freckles and she has hazel eyes. And what's special about this doll, I have a duplicate of her. But when I was working at American Girl, we celebrated 25 years with the company. So not me personally, but the company was celebrating their 25th anniversary. And so some of the higher ups came to our store, which was located in Natick, Mass, even though it was called the Boston store. So he came to our store and he gave us all these t-shirts that said, you know, celebrating 25 years, happy 25 years American Girl. And we had our morning meeting. And I was so excited that I got this exclusive t-shirt that was just given to the employees as far as I know. And it was really cute and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go home. I'm so excited to put this on one of my dolls. And then the guy who did the meeting paused and he said, well, it really wouldn't make sense to give out t-shirts without giving everybody a new doll. And our staff, we freaked out. It was just a really special moment. This was the doll that I chose. I worked in the historical department at the time. I was a sales associate on the first floor. So I had all of the historical dolls. I don't know that I had Addie yet. And I kind of regret not getting Addie in the box, but I wanted a Pleasant Company Addie. So that's why I waited. So I decided on this Truly Me doll, and I just thought she was super cute. She has freckles, she has hazel eyes with the classic face mold, and she has beautiful long hair. So this is one of the visual display dolls. The doll that I got from the company I have in its box upstairs. But I thought she was so cute in the Mouse King outfit, and I just wanted to say that the cape just Velcros off. I'm not a big fan of Velcro, mostly on fabric that can pull. On some of the dance outfits or just the delicate fabric sometimes. If it gets the Velcro, it just pulls, so that can be a disaster. So there's Velcro here, and then this part also Velcros over here, and of course down here Velcros. And this is just like a little detachable dickie that Velcros in the back. Looks great with the knee-high socks and the shoes. So I think she looks great, and honestly, like the headband really makes it with the mouse ears. I chose this doll because I thought her skin color would contrast beautifully with this costume, and especially like the white faux fur around the collar is just gorgeous next to her skin. So this is special to me because one of my friends got this doll for me when the store was closing, the very final employee sale. I gave my notice in January. Literally 1 week after I gave my notice, the announcement was made that they were closing our store. And had I known that the store was closing, I would have never left. I didn't give my notice. It was actually my last day because by the end, I was only working like 1 day a week, and I was really winding down, and I knew I was leaving to pursue reselling. So I decided to leave. It was kind of a little abrupt because the schedule was done. I wasn't going to be working in the following week, so it didn't make sense to drag it on for like one more shift. The next week to the day, they said that the store was going to close in 3 months. So I was actually very sad that I didn't stay to the very end. And had I known, obviously I would have. It was just the timing of it all. She was released before I left, but American Girl only sold 3 skin shades. So there was light, there was medium, and there was dark. And then right before one of the final releases before the store closed, they introduced like a porcelain light skin, very, very light skin. And they introduced this shade that was even darker. So it was kind of an exciting time to know that we were going to just broaden the skin tones in the store. So she is like the darkest skin you can get, and I just thought this doll was so striking and I loved her. My good friend Stephanie picked her up for me at the final sale, and it just meant so much to me. She's in beautiful condition. She was probably only on display for a couple months before the store closed. So I would probably put her hair up with a little updo in this outfit, but I thought that the tutu looked beautiful and where she wasn't wearing tights. Her nice dark skin in contrast to the white looks so beautiful. So the Mouse King gets the little sword, and then this doll gets her little lollipop, which is so cute. I want to offer an alternative for people who missed out on the Nutcracker from last year. She is, I think, doll number 27. She was my daughter's doll, and my daughter named her Zoe. It was this big moment because she didn't have a Truly Me doll or a doll that looked like her. It was the first time we were ever going to get one. I was really into the historical dolls, so her first doll was Marisol, which was a dancer, so she was a girl of the year. But then when we went to New York City for the first time, right before Angie turned five, she picked out Kit Kittredge, and we had read all of Kit's books, and then she went on to Samantha. So we really focused on the historical dolls. So it was a really big deal when I worked at the store that she was going to go pick out her very first Truly Me doll, or Just Like Me. It's been rebranded a couple times. And also at the time, they had this feature where you got like an ID number and you named your doll, and you were able to play with her online at like, I think it was called American Girl University or something like that. It was the age of Webkins and Club Penguin and all those games where the kids would play online. So American Girl hopped on that. So we went there. My daughter, if you don't know Angelina, she has features like me. She has dark hair, she has dark eyes, she has olive color skin. Her skin's a little darker than mine. And we went there, and I was so expecting her to get a dark colored hair, you know, one that looked like her, and she picked this doll and named her Zoe. And she has blonde hair and blue eyes and really fair skin. And I think that's so sweet that this is who she picked. It's always story time when it comes to American Girl in my channel. But this is Josefina's nightgown. And even though Clara's nightgown has like blue in it, this is just like a little shift nightgown that would really work nicely as a gown for kids playing. So as far as the Nutcracker goes, there are riding outfits that are very similar, you know, we're using our imagination here, but they are fitted pants with a top coat that buttons up with like tails of some sort. So the riding outfits, if you take away the riding hat, the horse riding outfits that American Girl has released would work nicely on a doll. This is an outfit that I wanted for such a long time. And since I didn't get the Snow Queen outfit for last year, if I were to display my dolls, I would put my doll in this. This is a Swan Lake outfit that American Girl did years ago, and I bought this off of my good friend, and I love it so much. Her headpiece is this beautiful feathers, and it has tulle around the edges. This doll is Marisol. She was one of the first girls of the year who was also a dancer. So this was actually my daughter's very first doll. This is how you can see the difference between how things used to be made and how they're made now. So this little feather part over here just has tiny little snaps, and they're clear, but these pieces snap right onto the leotard. So it's probably very washed out right here, but it snaps on. And that's just something that you don't see in some of the current pieces made now for American Girl. So these just snap on. I'm gonna snap on that second piece. But this makes a great little dupe for the Snow Queen. So she'll be part of my Nutcracker suite. And then I did mention the riding outfit. Oh, and I wanted to show you the brush that I use. These are the brushes that we used in the doll hair salon. The brand is called Diane. These are wonderful. They're just wig brushes. So I will link in my Amazon store below these brushes. Like American Girl does sell brushes, but the rubber part often comes unglued and pulls out, but they're great because they're for little hands, and I think we used to sell them for $7 or $8, but these are only $10, and these last forever. So I thought that this riding outfit would make a good Nutcracker. This one is pink. American Girl used to make a riding outfit that was red, and I think that that would make a really good Nutcracker outfit if you don't have it. I'm just gonna remove the little ribbon that has the horses on it because that kind of screams like equestrian. This I think is $1.49. I did look on Etsy. There are some people selling the Nutcracker outfit there for $50, and those are all handmade. So I trust a lot of the sellers on Etsy. Just read their reviews, see what they have to offer. There are some outfits on Amazon as well. What would happen when I worked at the stores, sometimes people would come in and you could bring your doll to the doll hair salon to be cleaned, just the body clean. We would use only baking soda and a face cloth, and we would create a little bit of a paste with the baking soda and water, and we would scrub the plastic parts of the dolls. But in some occasion, there would be dye transfer that came from off-brand clothing. It would happen a lot with our generation outfits from Target that people would bring in, and the dye would transfer onto the dolls, and there was nothing we could do about it. If they had a shirt like this, you know, they might have pink on the plastic on their arms, and all of the torsos are fabric, but the limbs are plastic. So you just want to be really careful what you put on the doll. If it ever happened that there was a dye transfer from an American Girl product, we would definitely replace the doll and the item if there was something that was on our end. But typically the dye transfer would happen when people used off-brand things. But anyways, I thought this was a cute little alternative to the Nutcracker. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season. If you're interested in any of these American Girl things, and I am not sponsored or affiliated in any way, just love the brand, order them now. They are limited edition. If this is something that is meaningful to you or to your daughter or granddaughter or grandson or somebody in your life, order it now. We used to say this to our clients all the time. If something means that much to you, you need to get it in October from American Girl because their hot items always sell out. There was nothing sadder to us than having somebody come in on December 23rd and say that the only thing their daughter asked for Christmas was fill in the blank from American Girl, and we were sold out, and people were irate with us because their stuff sells out. So their Girl of the Year is Joss right now. So I imagine some of her stuff is going to be going away. I don't have that doll. The last Girl of the Year that I bought was Blair, who was the Girl of the Year when the store closed in 2019. So this will have to do for the season, but I think that these dolls all look so cute. So this is my Clara, and then my Mouse King is right here, and I'm just gonna give you a view of the cape and the back. And then of course the showstopper, the Sugarplum Fairy, who is just so beautiful. It was exciting to take her out of the box because most of the dolls that I have were all store samples for a very long time. I am going to have some American Girl outfits available on my website. I'm going to be putting a bunch of things and do a page on my website designated just for American Girl stuff. So you can go over to Lori's Boston Found to see those pieces if you're interested in seeing them. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little veer away from my norm, but I thought it would be fun and festive to get into the holiday spirit. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up on your way out and consider subscribing. While I don't typically do American Girl videos, I will be scattering them throughout, and let me know if you enjoyed this video. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to anybody who's new here, and I will see you back real soon. Thanks so much. Bye.